If there were one single attribute that I could magically wave a wand and instill in my own children, it would be this one thing. Now, think about that. I would do anything for my kids, and I would never do anything that would possibly jeopardize their future. So you got to think about that. This is freaking important. So sharing it with you, I would so hope that you embrace this and that you set on a course to really understand it, because it will change everything for you. And that's what we're talking about in today's episode of Mindset Mastery Moment.
You're listening to Mindset Mastery Moment, your quick daily mindset reset. I'm your host, Paul Desmond Adams. I believe when you change the world within you, you'll change the world around you. That's why this show is designed to put you into your best mindset for success in your business, your relationships, and your life, all in under 10 minutes. So let's get started.
Oh, welcome. So glad you are here. So glad I'm here. I'm so grateful that I get to do this, that you're listening to this show. If you appreciate it, would you give it a 5-star rating or review wherever you're listening? I'd really be grateful for that. Helps get the word out about this show. Remember, it's 10 minutes. My goal is to help you work on your mindset in a short amount of time so you can get on with the rest of your day. 10 minutes or less, all right? So let's jump into this. What is this crazy thing that I really want my own kids? I want everyone to have this. I want it to increase in me as well. It's not just like I've got it all figured out and I want them to have it. No, it's a thing that I've just focused on for so long. And as I've gotten older, I realized, man, this has become so valuable to me, and I want more of it. That one thing is self-awareness. Self-awareness. You probably heard the term, but if you haven't before, what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is recognizing and understanding our thoughts, our emotions, our behaviors. Is more than that as well. But it's understanding them. But I want you to notice something in there. It's self-awareness. It's not self-judgment. It's not judging our thoughts and our emotions and our behaviors, because that's sometimes what we default into. Like, oh, it's dumb of me to think that, or I shouldn't have done that. Just being aware of those things going on within us. Conscious of our personality traits, good and bad. And you might be aware of a personality trait that you don't really want to have anymore, but it's non-judgmental awareness of it. Well, I'm a little bit shy around people. I'd like to be more confident when I'm talking to somebody. That's a non-judgmental awareness of a personality trait for you. And we'll talk about what you can do to improve your self-awareness. And one of them that's really key, and we'll jump into that here before the 10 minutes are up. It's also understanding our strengths and our weaknesses. Again, it's understanding them, not judging them, and not being boastful or braggadocious or like, yeah, well, I'm the smartest guy, or I'm the wisest, or I've got the most self-discipline of anybody. It's just being aware, oh, this is a strength that I have, and having the courage to say that out loud, because it takes courage to say, well, you know what? One of the things I'm really good at is follow through. I'm really good at that. Once I start something, I stick with it and I make it all the way through to the end. One of the things I need to work on is listening to others. And I'm just saying this for you. Maybe think about, what are those things that you can realize about yourself. Again, it's just awareness, and I can't overemphasize. There's non-judgment in awareness. My awareness of myself existing is not judgmental. I'm not judgmental about whether I should or shouldn't exist, or whether my existence is good for society or not. It's just being aware of those things. Being aware of your values. Why do you have those values? Where do they come from? What values do others have? And how does that affect my current values, where my values clash with them? It's understanding that their values are their values because of circumstances in their life, and my values are the same. And again, in a non-judgmental way. It's not just knowing ourselves, it's knowing how others perceive us. Oh, that's so important. When you know how others perceive you in a non-judgmental way, well, they're just a jerk. That's why they see me that way. That's not what I'm saying. It's like, well, they see me this way, and here's why. and you stand outside of it and you look at that situation, this will so help your relationships. I tell you, if you really can become aware of how others perceive you, so that's still a self-awareness. It's you, but it's how others perceive you. So it's an awareness of their perception of you from a non-judgmental point of view. Just saying, oh, well, they see me as selfish. Okay. And then asking yourself, why might they do that? Without judgment, right? Well, it's because they value this and I didn't value it, so they thought it was selfish by not valuing something they valued. That's non-judgmental. It's just being aware of that situation. When you can do that, your relationships change so much because you don't feel defensive. You don't feel like you have to put somebody in their place and really, you need to understand me. No, I just understand why you feel that way about me. And that helps so much in your relationships, accepting that they have this perception of you, not getting angry about that perception they may have of you. When we have that, we improve our relationships, we improve ourselves, we improve our business, we improve our finances and our physical well-being. It just changes everything in our life, self-awareness. So how do you increase your self-awareness? I mean, I could give you all these reasons why it's so good, but how do you increase it? Well, one of the best ways to increase it is through journaling. Just a journal prompt like, what happened today? Just writing that down in a journal. And as you journal and you write, if you've never done that, just start writing. Like one of the things I know, you don't even know what you're going to say yet. Just start writing it down and you'll find things start flowing out of your subconscious, out of your memory and out of your subconscious memory. And you just start writing that out and journaling and being aware. Another really big one, this one I mentioned earlier, I alluded to earlier, mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is so great for helping us increase our awareness of what's going on inside our mind and in a non-judgmental way. So as you're mindful, you're focused on your breathing and you're just relaxed, you're breathing, and all of a sudden you're thinking about lunch. And that you don't say, Tom, why did I do that? I shouldn't have thought about lunch. You just go, oh, thinking about lunch. Bring my thought back to my breath. And that's mindfulness meditation in a nutshell right there. And when you can do that, you start to be less judgmental and more aware. It's an incredible tool for increasing your self-awareness. And seek feedback, but be careful who you get it from. Make sure it's somebody who's invested in you, somebody who you trust. And don't be judgmental about what they give you, that feedback. Just accept it and be aware of it and thank them for it. And don't try to convince them otherwise. Maybe just go, oh, that's interesting. Can I ask you why you feel that way? I'd love to know more. Tell me more about that. And just ask them that and get that feedback from them. It's so, so valuable. And one of the most important things you can do to help yourself with your self-awareness is to practice self-compassion, understanding on those areas where you do have weaknesses or areas for growth or things that other people may see in you that you don't want them to see in you. Practice some self-compassion and just allow yourself to have flaws. Allow that to be there within you. Be aware of it, non-judgmental, and allow that, okay, that's something I'd like to work on. Not necessarily do I need to work on it, but something I'd like to work on. I'd like to change that about me, or I'd like to change that people see that within me. You work on those things, I'll tell you what, your life will change so much and so much for the better. So I encourage you, self-awareness is such a great attribute. Well, that's kind of judgmental, I realize that. But I so encourage you to focus on that. All right, I hope this helps you today. I hope that you will utilize some of what I taught you, maybe some mindfulness today, maybe some journaling today, definitely some self-compassion, all right? If you want to go deeper on some of this and maybe you're frustrated about where you are, maybe it's something you want to work on, maybe you want to get out of a situation where you're just in a dead-end job and you have no passion for it, and you really want to find some freedom for yourself and some purpose and some meaning in what you're doing, I would love to chat with you about that. You can schedule some time right now by going to Paul Desmond Adams. That's my name, Paul Desmond Adams /breakthrough. PaulDesmondAdams.com/breakthrough. You can schedule a time and then see what works for you. My whole calendar's there, and so you can see what slots are open, and we'll jump on a Zoom call for an hour and talk about where you are, where you want to be and what it'll take to get you there. All right? Thank you so much. You have yourself a beautiful, beautiful day.